The EU's decision may influence regulators here in the US. The Food and Drug Administration initially tried to ban e-cigarettes as unapproved pharmaceutical products, an effort that was blocked by the courts. More than 2 years ago, the agency said it would instead regulate e-cigarettes as tobacco products. Now, it's still working on those rules. Industry leaders and public health officials had expected them by the end of October. But the regulations will most likely be delayed now because of the partial government shutdown. In the meantime, e-cig sales are smoking. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. But now where there's vapor, there's a burning hot business. In the US, sales of electronic cigarettes have doubled every year since 2008 and are projected to reach more than $1 billion this year alone.
The e-cigarette industry has grown from $250 million a few years ago to $500 million last year to $1 billion this year, and could be $2 billion next year. E-cigarettes will have tremendous worldwide growth now that Lorillard, British American Tobacco, Reynolds, and Philip Morris have made very aggressive moves into e-cigarettes worldwide.
E-cig brands like Logic and Enjoy are waiting to exhale as the big tobacco companies have quickly taken notice of how e-cigs are cutting into their sales, and they are now getting into the electronic game. Altria Group, formerly Philip Morris, the world's largest tobacco company, has come out with Mark 10. Reynolds American has launched Views, and Lorillard is boosting distribution of its blue e-cigs since buying the brand last year. And this all comes as scientists and regulators try to determine if the devices are indeed safer than traditional cigarettes.
Electronic cigarettes are thought to be less harmful than regular cigarettes because the vapor stays within the oral mucosa, meaning the mouth tissue, and not in the depth of the lung, and also contains far less nicotine than a regular cigarette, 1,000 times less. But having said that, long-term studies over 10 to 20 years have not been done, and that length of time is necessary to detect serious health consequences.
E-cigarettes are tobaccoless battery-operated units that heat a liquid solution containing water, nicotine, and the chemical propylene glycol into vapor. Users inhale this vapor, giving them a hit of nicotine without burning or smoke. And that is one of the big advantages of e-cigarettes, because in most areas, e-smokers are allowed to smoke indoors and in public places, at least for now. And many traditional smokers are now opting for e-cigs.
It's the same sensation, and it is healthier for you. You could smoke in a bar or a restaurant.
Most e-cigs are made in China. The first ones were created as a tool to wean smokers off regular cigarettes. But now many brands like Blue e-cigs are marketed to smokers who want to continue indulging their habit. And as the market leader, Blue e-cigs is using celebrities like Jenny McCarthy and Stephen Dorff to try and bring the sexy back to smoking.
It's time we take our freedom back. Come on, guys. Rise from the ashes.
Right now, e-cigarettes have no oversight or restrictions on advertising. And while they're still a tiny fraction of the $100 billion US tobacco market, the makers of e-cigs say their use could pass that of traditional cigarettes in the next 10 to 15 years.